Chief of Staff of Young Americans for Liberty, Sean Themea. Where are you, Sean?
Hey, calling in from Austin, Texas this morning.
Austin, Texas, Sean Themea, Themea. What is Young Americans for Liberty?
Yeah, Young Americans for Liberty, we are the only group out there that is both reaching students on college campuses, waking them up to the ideas of liberty before it's too late, and I'm especially grateful for that as a former progressive. I'm slowly recovering still, but waking them up to the ideas of liberty, and then also getting them involved in the political process, placing them on campaigns, knocking doors, and turning out the vote for state representatives and state senators across the country.
Well, hold on here. What is your definition? You could not have. What is your definition of progressive, Sean?
Well, look, I walked into college in 2012. I voted for Obama. I thought that government was the answer to all our problems. But between just the craziness that I was hearing in the classroom with CRT and this extremist Marxist rhetoric, I thought, geez, this doesn't sound right. I mean, there's got to be a better way, but I don't know where to go. And thankfully, Young Americans for Liberty was there to show me, actually, yeah, if you just follow the Constitution and limit government, things will be on a better path.
Well, maybe you were a former Democrat. Progressive to me is like, no police, no borders, no prison stuff. That's nuts. That's not a Democrat anymore. That's a progressive.
Yeah, whatever you want to slice it, I was not in favor of the government getting the hell out of our lives, but now I know better.
All right, what do you see last night in all these primaries, Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania? Was there a trend? What's your read, Sean?
Well, look, I think that the biggest trend that we saw, or rather the most important takeaway, comes out of Ohio, right? Two things are shown there in particular with J.D. Vance in that Senate race. One, that the Trump bump still matters, right? People were saying that his endorsement wouldn't carry any weight. They were proven wrong from what Vance emerged on top. But also that Vance's ideas matter. I mean, he was the only candidate from the onset in earnest who was saying there should be no American involvement in Ukraine. We shouldn't be sending troops or funding over there while we've got all these problems at home we have to take care of. And so it's good to see that America First ideology is ringing true with voters.
Okay. All right. So Ohio, anything in North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania that jumped out to you?
Yeah, well, we still got, these Georgia and North Carolina primaries ongoing. In Indiana, we saw some big wins actually at the state level. We saw, the establishment GOP in Indiana was spending a ton of money against these liberty insurgent candidates who challenged their inaction on the lockdowns, who challenged their inaction on COVID restrictions and constitutional carry that's just passed in Indiana. And we saw a couple incumbents taken out in Indiana at the state level as well. So while that may not reach the national attention or the national media, we are seeing liberty candidates prevailing at the state level on the ground up.
All right, tell me what you thought of the leak at the Supreme Court that Politico broke about Roe v. Wade and the impact that it could have in the fall.
Yeah, well, I think that this was intentional. If I had to take a guess, right, I think this kind of woke mobster should be, prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I mean, we cannot get out there and be leaking Supreme Court cases for political gain. The left, right, they have nothing to run on right now. Biden's poll numbers are tanking. You see support among young people dropping with Biden. You see this insurgency, this almost guaranteed red wave coming on. And, I think this was a political hit job and that we should find this person. And, as Anthony Sabatini in Florida said, prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
But think about this now. What would divert attention from the dumpster fire that is this administration? I mean, it's a mess. So you pull this thing, and all of a sudden, the Republicans are going to kill us. Look, they're anti-everything. And this has united a little bit of that base. And maybe that's the overall overarching plan, is to rally. There's nothing else that could have brought them together.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And, regardless of whatever you think about abortion, the left really threw out their moral high ground and their rationale on Roe v. Wade and on abortion this past year when you got my body, my choice. oh, that doesn't really apply anymore when you've got these vaccine mandates, right? Everyone's got to take the vaccine. And the idea that, women's rights should be protected. I mean, the newest Supreme Court justice can't even define what a woman is. So, they're going to do some big logical jumps and go through some, cartwheels to get back on that ground.
Well, it's never going to be.
I completely agree.
It's not going to be illegal. It's just going to go to the states, right?
Yeah, no, it will be down to the state representatives and the elected officials of the state to decide, what is going to happen. And I think we're going to see a big divide and some clear lines being drawn if this does get overturned over the next couple of years and what states look like.
All right, so a former reformed, I guess, Democrat/liberal, it's Sean Themea. How do people find you at Young Americans for Liberty?
Yes, you can go to yaliberty.org. And we are on Facebook, the newly freed Twitter, and then all social platforms. yaliberty.org. When
you talk to a fellow, I don't know what you guys are at 18 to 34, do you get yelled at, screamed at? Do they need a safe room? What's your take of some of the guys your age?
Yeah. Well, we train our students to get out there and when we're reaching new people, to do so not from a place of, throwing, basic economics at them, trying to hit them over the head with a book, but just meeting them where they're at, right? If you ask a college student, do you support free speech? Hey, do you think that the government should take half your income? Do you support the right to privacy and the government not endlessly spying on you? I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes, and that's when you can reach them and say, okay, cool, come to our meeting, learn more about why the ideas of liberty are right for you. So our ideas are mainstream. It's just how we message them.
Well, all right, so go ahead. Pretend I'm 25, 26, and throw me a question. I'll tell you what they're going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, do you think it's fair that the government should take more than half of what you earn?
Well, it's for the right reasons. Are you a hater? What's your problem? Where are you from?
I'm not a hater. I just think you should decide what's best with your money instead of people in D.C. spending it willy-nilly. Hey, why don't you come to our meeting? We can debate this more, and I'll show you more about the ideas of liberty and how they're right for you.
Good for you. I mean, that's great, because they're going to call you a bigot, homophobe, racist, whatever the word of the day is, and unfair, greedy. Because sometimes you can't even talk to them. They're just a different reality, right?
Yeah, some people don't want to engage, and if they want to be stubborn, that's on them. But, once a lot of these people start working, they start to see the light. But we want to reach them before then.
Sean Themea, Themea. Again, it's YA, say again?
YALiberty.org.
Sean, nice to meet you.
You as well.